Now, as we have seen the demonstration for the customer relationship management as well as the supply chain management solution, now let's get into finance and the cost management solution. The finance and cost management solution is the backbone of the FusionFOX ERP. It covers the entire scope from a financial management perspective. If you're looking at basic functionalities from creating JVs to a payments management solution which allows you to raise bills and make payments against those bills, or raise sales invoices and receive payments against those invoices, raising credit or debit notes, and finally posting any of these transactions to be available in the balance sheet. Let's get into some of the specifics of the application. As we look into the bill or claim booking applications, we've created some sample data over here. Now this is a supplier bill that has been generated. The entire exchange rate as well as the amount of the bill is represented over here. The description is available over here. What are the expenses, unit rate, entire information is clearly visible over here. Now this sign indicates whether it is posted or not posted. The green entries as clearly visible are posted and the others are not. In this table we can see it defines the period of these supplier bills or employee claims, the document number, the document name, the party name, as well as whether it's posted or not posted. And again, because it's multi-currency support, you can use the system and you can raise the bill in any currency. That can be the foreign currency, and you can define your base currency as well, defining your debit natural account and credit natural account, as well as a due date for making that payment, which gives you a proper aging report. Now once you raise this particular bill and you post this particular bill or a claim, then you go into your payments management when you make a payment against this particular bill. Here again the same process flows through when you can make in a single payment, you can make payment against multiple bills or can be individual payments for each particular bill. You select the bill or a claim against which you want to make payment. You select the payment mode, the account name from which you're making payment, the document type, the document number, all the payment management details you have listed over here, whether it's a prepayment or you can select any other option. The party type is a supplier and the currency you're making payment is euro. The party name is the supplier name is clearly mentioned over here, and the booking period as well as the amount paid. So it gives you in two simple applications a complete process of raising a bill and making payment against a bill. The same process again flows through for a sales invoice, where you register a sales invoice in this application, and once that invoice is registered, and you can view the items for which that invoice is registered and all the details for that particular invoice as well as the exchange rate, if it's again in a different currency, and if it's a manual invoice or it's an invoice against a previous sales order. The same process, once you post a particular invoice, then you can receive payment against that particular invoice. Now the system supports multi-payment against a single invoice, that is, invoices can be made in installments, for payments can be made against a particular invoice in installments. So as we can see over here, against invoice number 2, the amount paid is 200, the exchange rate so and so, all the information pertaining to that particular invoice, the collector name, the received amount, the realization date, the status and the collection date. The received amount in foreign currency, received amount in base currency, because we have defined that exchange rate, and we have a currency management solution where you define the precise exchange rate. Now as we've got into these parts, now this is the batch posting application where you post each transaction for it to be visible at the next step. This is the master data management where you can define and add values to the master data. Each and individual module has got its own master data management where you can define the particular values for each value set. As we can see over here, a department value set is defined over here: safety, operations, finance, maintenance, corporate 101. So it gives control to the end user for defining value sets to the master data on his or her own. Now, getting away from the payments as well as the master data, you have a bunch of built-in highly capable reporting tools. As we have a look at them over here, you have a party subledger report, a trial balance report data browser, a balance sheet data browser, an account balance data browser. These give you a complete and a comprehensive look at your financial position. As an example, we'll get into your party subledger report where you can at any point in time get any subledger or general ledger report. Let's get into the subledger report for the starting. If you want to get any customer's particular report, maybe you want a customer aging report or an invoice wise report, you can select that particular customer as we have defined a test company, and you can get his complete due date wise details, a summary details, as well as an invoice date wise or a summary of his invoices registered to him, as well as these give you a complete and a holistic report of their aging as well. Now, once you've looked at the customer as well as the supplier, the system also has an inbuilt functionality to give you general ledger reports, where you can select your natural account combinations, where you can select your accounts payable, and you can define the period for which you want the report. You print the report and it gives you an entire summary for transactions for that period for this particular natural account that you've selected. Now this was just a sample of the reporting capability of the FusionFOX financial management solution. Now, more than the reporting, if you get more deeper into the solution, we have a budget management solution inbuilt within the system where you can define budgets for a particular cost center, an expense category, or an expense head, where once that budget is determined, the entire financial management solution only runs on the basis of this budget defined. As we get into the application, just for sample purposes, we've defined a budget for sales invoices. Now the budget is being defined, it's defined with a workflow of IT hardware workflow prepared by so and so person. It's a monthly budget, it's a budget basis for an operating unit. Now the operating unit is defined over here and it's in execute mode. So this is where you define the budget. Now whenever a sales invoice is being issued from this particular operating unit, this budget will come into consideration. So here we had a look at the comprehensive tool that is the financial management solution from FusionFOX, where you have the functionality to define a chart of accounts, a complete accounting period, you have the ledger setup definition, the currency conversion tool that I was speaking about, where you can define your base currency as well as foreign currency, which allows you to function your bill booking as well as your invoice in any of the currencies that you've defined. A finance sales return where you can adjust returns from your particular customer. A letter of credit can be considered. You can define your provisional expenses. A very visual tool where you can monitor the budgets that's been utilized by each particular department. You have your data browsers, as well as lastly, the FusionFOX financial management solution is pushing towards a VAT enabled solution where you have the tax setup system. A system where you can determine and define the tax, and automatically the entire system, the entire financial management solution becomes tax compliant once the tax setup is done over here.